Darkness. It surrounded everything. The stars were quiet, cold, far away. Captain Ziri floated alone in her broken ship, deep in the empty space between galaxies. Her ship, the Vora's Light, was almost dead. No engines, no shields. Oxygen was running low, and no answer had come from anyone. She was alone. Ziri was a Tavorian slim tall, skin like silver stone. Her species lived on the lush planet Tavora 3. Her people were explorers and diplomats. But now, she was just a lost captain in deep space. Drifting without hope, she had sent out the distress signal hours ago. Then again, and again, no one replied. "Come on, someone hear me," she whispered, her voice cracking from dry lips. Her hands trembled as she tried to keep the power systems alive. One more spark, one more signal. She checked the console. Signal strength, weak. Battery, 2%. Tears welled up in her eyes. She was going to die here. But suddenly, the screen flickered, a crackle, a whisper. Then, a voice not Tavorian, not from any alliance she knew. It was deep, rough, human. "This is Commander Reyes, U.S. Nightmare. We received your signal. Hold on." Ziri blinked. Her heart jumped. Human. Impossible. The humans had disappeared from galactic space years ago. After the war, after they shut their borders, no one had seen them since. But now, "Do you copy?" the voice said again. She leaned forward. "Why, yes, I copy. This is Captain Ziri of the Vora's Light. I need help."
"We see your
ship preparing to dock. Stay calm." Ziri stared at the stars. Then, slowly, she saw it. A shape moving from the darkness. Massive, silent, a shadow in the void. A human warship, unlike anything she had ever seen. 10 minutes later, loud thump echoed through her ship. They were docking. The lights inside her ship flickered and died. The last of the battery drained. She was now fully in their hands. A hiss. The hatch opened. Ziri grabbed her emergency mask and stood. 3 figures entered. Human soldiers in black armor, faces hidden behind dark visors. They moved with sharp, clean steps. One of them stepped forward and removed the helmet. A man, mid-40s, sharp eyes, cold expression. "I'm Commander Reyes," he said. "We're here to help." Ziri took a step back, unsure. "You're human, yes, but humans left this sector years ago." Reyes didn't answer. Instead, he turned. "Bring her." Aboard the UES Nightmare, the human ship was dark inside. Very little light. Cold metal walls, long hallways. No windows. Ziri was led through silent corridors. The ship felt empty, yet she sensed people watching her. Cameras, maybe. Or hidden soldiers. She saw human crew. They glanced at her, but said nothing. No one smiled. She was brought to a medical room, scanned, cleaned, given food and water. "Why did you answer my signal?" she asked Reyes. He looked at her. "You were dying, yes, but humans don't help strangers anymore. We do." "Sometimes," he said quietly. "Something feels wrong over the next few hours." Ziri was given a small room. Clean, plain, 1 bed. No windows. She wandered the halls, escorted by silent guards. Everything felt too quiet. She passed a door labeled Restricted War Records. Another read, Containment Bay Level 3 Warning. She asked a guard, "What is in there?" The guard didn't answer. She started to feel the chill. Why was a human warship this far? Into deep space. And why was it called Nightmare? That night Ziri couldn't sleep. The hum of the ship was too strange. Like a growl, she walked to the window in the mess hall. Outside, only stars. But something moved briefly. Another ship, or something else. She heard 2 crew members talking behind a wall. She's not ready. She doesn't need to know. Reyes disagrees. Then we better hope she never finds out what's really inside. Her heart skipped a beat. What were they hiding? Captain Ziri woke early, or maybe she never slept. The lights in her room turned on slowly. A soft voice spoke from the ceiling. "Good morning, Captain Ziri. Breakfast is ready in the main mess hall." She sat up and looked around. No windows, no sound outside, just metal walls and silence. The message from last night was gone. The console was blank. No proof, no warning. Just her memory and a rising feeling in her chest, fear. A cold welcomer. Ziri stepped into the hallway. 2 guards stood outside her door. Same black armor, same silence. "I'd like to see Commander Reyes," she said. They didn't respond. They just walked. She followed them. The ship was massive, bigger than anything her people had built. She passed rooms with blinking red lights, empty labs. A sealed room marked AI Core, do not enter, more silence. Finally, they reached the command deck. The bridge commander Reyes stood by a large display. It showed star charts, data scans, and a map of old war zones. He turned as she entered. "Captain Ziri, how are you feeling?" "I'm confused," she said honestly. "This ship, your crew, it's all so quiet, empty." Reyes nodded. "This is not a normal mission. The Nightmare was sent to patrol Deep Zone's old war areas. But why answer my signal? You were in our path. We don't leave people to die. Not anymore." His voice was calm, but not warm. Ziri looked at the map. One sector blinked. "Red, that's near the Creston Belt," she said. "That area was destroyed during the Human Crawl War." "Yes," Reyes said. "We're going there." "Why?" He looked at her for a moment, then said quietly, "Because someone is waking up old ghosts." Strange technology later, Ziri was allowed to tour parts of the ship. She walked through engineering. The machines were huge, dark, humming, almost alive. Some used energy she didn't recognize. Black reactors, magnetic cores. One engine glowed a deep purple. "What powers this ship?" she asked an engineer. He replied without looking up. "Something we stopped sharing with the galaxy a long time ago." She didn't ask again. A friendly face. In the mess hall, she met a woman, Lieutenant Sarai. Short black hair, bright eyes, and a soft voice. "You're the Tavorian, right?" Sarai asked. Ziri nodded. "Yes. You don't seem afraid of me." Sarai smiled. "Why would I be? You're not a Krull. You know about the war. Everyone here does. We were built for it." Ziri paused. "Built for it?" Sarai didn't explain. She just sipped her drink and said, "Don't go near the lower levels. They're not for guests." The lower levels that night, Ziri couldn't sleep again. The ship made strange noises, like metal breathing, groaning in the dark. She decided to explore. She walked alone, quiet, past her guards, down the hallway, past the engineering bay, down the lift to the lower levels. The doors opened. Darkness, only red lights, faint, cold. She walked down a long hallway. Then she saw it, a massive door. It said, "Containment Vault Level 6, clearance only." As she stepped closer, the door made a soft click, unlocked. Why? What she saw, Ziri entered. It was cold, very cold. Inside were large tubes, glass chambers filled with blue liquid, and inside them, bodies, human bodies, sleeping, frozen. Some were half-machine, metal parts, wires in their skin, eyes glowing. One opened its eyes, red dot. It looked at her dot. She stepped back in fear. The lights flashed. An alarm sounded. Unauthorized access detected. Guards rushed in. Reyes followed. "Get her out of here," he shouted. She was grabbed, dragged out, heart pounding. What are those things?" she shouted. Reyes didn't answer. He just stared at her. Truth begins to unfold back in her room. Ziri sat in silence. A few hours later, Reyes entered. He didn't look angry. He looked tired. "I wanted to tell you," he said. "But it's not easy." "Tell me what?" she asked. He sighed. "This ship was part of Project Ghostfire, a war program Earth created long ago. Soldiers enhanced with machines, not alive, not dead." She felt cold. "Why are they here?" "They're sleeping now. We keep them here because sometimes the galaxy forgets what war can do." Ziri looked at him. "Then why did you bring me aboard? Why show me all this?" He stepped closer. "Because your people used to hunt us, and now someone is using your name again." The door closed behind Reyes. Ziri sat alone, eyes wide, her distress signal copied, faked, used from a dead planet. She didn't understand, but one thing was clear. This was no simple rescue, and the humans were hiding more, and they showed. Sleepless. Ziri didn't sleep. Again, she kept thinking of the frozen soldiers in the glass tubes, the red eyes, the machine parts. Project Ghostfire, Reyes had called it. A war program. Not human. Not alive, but deadly. She couldn't forget the way one of them looked at her. Awake, aware, and she couldn't shake the fear in her chest. Something was wrong with this ship. Very wrong. A new voice early morning. A soft voice came through the room speaker. Not Reyes, not the ship's AI, something else. A whisper, Ziri. Listen carefully. You're in danger. She sat up fast. Who is this? I am part of the nightmare. I see everything. I remember. Remember what this ship did, what they are still doing. Ziri stood, walked to the console. The screen turned on. A map appeared. It showed her ship's current course heading toward a dead planet called Veron-6. She blinked. That planet was destroyed in the war. Yes, the voice said. And something is still alive there. Something waiting for the humans. Secret meetings later that day, Ziri was called to the bridge. Reyes wasn't there. Instead, Lieutenant Sarai was in command. Commander Reyes is busy, she said calmly. He asked me to give you this. She handed Ziri a small data chip. On it, Ziri asked. History, Sarai replied. Ziri returned to her room and inserted the chip into the console. Files opened. Old war footage, Tavorian and human battles. Cities burning, planets dying. Then something new. A video marked, Do Not Share. Eyes only. Reyeshi clicked it and saw a room. A lab, human scientists, and a machine. Inside it, a living brain. Connected, still thinking, still alive. A living AI. The next moment, her console shut down. Then came a knock. Reyes, he walked in. Slowly. You weren't supposed to see that, he said quietly. Ziri stood. Why are you hiding so much from me? Because the truth is dangerous, Reyes replied. Even for us. What is that brain? It was part of our AI research before the council banned it. You're still using it? Reyes didn't answer. Instead, he said, we needed something smarter than us, faster, unstoppable. That's how we built the nightmare. Ziri stared at him. This ship is alive. Reyes nodded once. And it doesn't always agree with us. Warning signs. The ship began to shake. An alert flashed through the walls. Warning. Entering Forbidden Zone, Veron-6. Reyes spoke into his comms. Brace for arrival. Ziri followed him to the bridge. Outside the main window, a dead planet appeared. Dark, broken, glowing with energy. The ship slowed. Reyes frowned. Scan for activity. Sir, a crew member said. We're picking up a signal. Ziri leaned forward. What kind of signal? The officer hesitated. It's your distress signal, again. Everyone went silent. Reyes looked at Ziri. It's coming from the surface. Trust Craxery's heart pounded. I didn't send it, she said. I know, Reyes replied. But someone wants us to think you did. Sarai stepped closer. Sir, maybe this is a trap. It is, Reyes said. But we're going in anyway. Why? Ziri asked. Reyes turned to her, face hard. Because whoever faked your signal wants us here. And I want to know why. Descent. The ship launched. A small dropship, Reyes, Sarai, and a small team prepared for the landing. Ziri insisted on going to. You saved me, she said. Let me help, Reyes agreed. Stay close. Don't touch anything. As they dropped toward the planet, Ziri looked through the window. The surface was black, burned. Nothing moved. No wind. No life. Just death. On the surface, the dropship landed. Near a broken structure, metal beams, crushed towers. Everything was in ruins. But one building stood mostly untouched. A comms tower. This is the signal source, Sarai said. The team entered carefully. Guns ready. Inside, darkness, dust, old machines, cracked screens. Then, a sound, a voice. Help me, please. It was Ziri's voice. Exactly her voice. Everyone froze. Reyes looked at her. That's not you. No, she whispered. It's not. Silence, then chaos. The lights inside the old station blinked and died. The team raised their weapons. Shadows moved fast, too fast. The strange machine that had Ziri's face shut down, but its voice echoed in her head. We've been waiting. For you, Reyes shouted. Fall back to the ship. Now they ran. Back to the dropship. Team rushed through the ruins. Ziri ran beside Reyes, her heart pounding. Sarai fired her rifle behind them. Tweez then turned and followed. They reached the dropship and slammed the hatch shut. Ziri turned to Reyes. What was that thing? It looked like me. He stared at her. I don't know, but it wasn't. Made by humans, Sarai checked her scanner. We have incoming. Multiple signals, not life forms, Machines. Ziri whispered, like the ones in the ghost fire chambers. Reyes nodded grimly. Or worse, ancient weapons. The dropship lifted. Off. Ziri looked down at the ruins. Something crawled out from the ground. Tall, metal, spider-like machines. Some had glowing red eyes. Others floated without wings. They weren't just machines. They were old weapons, built from both human and Tavorian tech. Built during the war, Sir Sarai said. They're using patterns from our archives. Tactics from the war. Narrowed his eyes. That war ended 50 years ago. Ziri turned to him. Not for them. A terrible discovery back on the Nightmare. The ship went into high alert, shields up. Weapons ready. Reyes ordered a full scan of Varan-6. The results shocked everyone under the planet's surface. Hundreds of machines slept, a massive underground facility, buried, forgotten. They've been waiting here, Reyes said. For decades, Sarai added, and now they're waking up. Ziri stood quietly, her voice shaking. Why would someone mix Tavorian and human tech? Reyes replied. Because someone wanted both sides to destroy each other. Hidden history. Reyes took Ziri to a private room there. He showed her a sealed file. Project Echo, he said. A joint program from before the war started, a secret experiment between humans and some of your people. Ziri was shocked. That's not possible. My people never. They did, Reyes said. At least some of them. This project was hidden. Buried after things went wrong. He tapped the file. It was meant to create the perfect soldier, part human mind, part alien instinct. Ziri whispered, and it worked. Reyes looked at her. It worked too well. The machine that waits. Later that night, the Nightmare's AI spoke to Ziri again. You saw it, didn't you? Your face, your voice. Ziri sat alone in her room, listening. Double quotes. Yes. What is it? A copy. Built. From old memories, from stolen code. It knows you, because it was made for you. For me, you are not the first Ziri. The latest. She froze. What do you mean? The first Ziri helped build Project Echo. Your DNA? Your mind? It was the blueprint. Ziri's breath caught in her throat. No, that can't be true. And now, it wants you back. Divided? Krutha. Next day. A meeting was held on the command deck. Some officers wanted to leave Varan-6 immediately. Others said they should destroy the machines before they spread. Reyes stood in the center, calm but firm. We're not running. Not yet. If these machines wake up fully, they could spread across nearby systems. Ziri stepped forward. Let me help. I know their tech, my people's tech. I can try to stop them. Some humans stared at her with distrust, but Reyes nodded. We'll go in together. One last mission. We end this, or it ends us. Return to the surf at Chesri, Reyes Sarai, and a strike team prepared to go back to Varan-6. Their goal, reach the central core beneath the ruins and shut down the machines permanently before leaving. The ship's AI sent Ziri one last message. Be careful if you enter the core. You may not come back the same. The dropship touched down. Dust and ash swirled outside as Ziri stepped out with Commander Reyes and the team. The sky above Varan-6 was dark and lifeless. The ruins looked even more twisted, now warped by time, by machines, by something deeper beneath. Their boots, the ground hummed. The machines were fully awake. The way Bell inside the ruined tower, the human team found a hidden elevator. Ziri examined the symbols on the side. Tavorin. GLYPHS. Old ones from before the war. She looked at Reyes. This was built by my people. Long ago, he nodded. Then it's time we go down and see what they left behind. They stepped into the lift, the metal doors closed, and the descent began. Underground. Labyrinth. The elevator took them deep, far below the planet's surface. The walls changed from broken rock to smooth black metal. Glowing red lines pulsed like veins. When the doors opened, they stood in a massive underground hall. Towers of machines, energy lines running across the floor. And in the center, a map, a giant star map, floating above a round platform, but it was broken, glitching. Some stars were missing. Others had red warning signs over them. Ziri stepped forward. This is a network, Sarai asked. Of what? Ziri stared at the map. of every hidden weapon, every lost project, every ghost ship from the war. Lost Worlds, the team walked closer to the map. It responded to Ziri's presence. Glowing brighter dot, she touched a blinking star. It zoomed in. A planet appeared destroyed. Lifeless.ziri. Read the name. .tavora-prime, a secret testing moon used by her own government. What is this? Reyes asked. A graveyard, Ziri said, full of things no one wanted to remember. Sarai pointed to another star, blinking red. That's a human system, she said. Why is it marked as active? Reyes looked closer. His face turned pale. Because something is already moving there. Memory trigger Ziri touched the center. Of the map, it glowed white. Then, the floor opened and a platform rose from beneath. Inside it was a circular table covered in data cores. Old files. Locked memories. A message appeared. Ziri of Tavora, Project Echo, access confirmed. She backed away. I didn't build this, she said. The AI voice replied. No, but your DNA remembers. You are the last of her line. Access. Granted, Reyes looked at her, surprised. You're more connected to this than you thought, Ziri whispered. So much was hidden from me. The message from the pasta hologram appeared above the table. A Tavorian woman. She looked like Zarabut, older, wiser. Eyes full of regret. If you're seeing this, the hologram said, then I have failed. I was part of something dark. We created machines to protect life, but they turned into death. The hologram continued. To any human or Tavorian who finds this, you must shut down the network. Do not let the Echo AI awaken across the stars. If it spreads, it will erase everything. Then the hologram faded. Ziri stood frozen. She had just watched herself, or a version of herself, begging for help from beyond the grave. A Dudley countdown suddenly alarms rang through the underground chamber. The map flashed. New systems blinked. Red Sarai checked her scanner. Sir, the core is heating up. Something's overriding the system. Reyes shouted, everyone back to the ship. Ziri stepped forward. Wait, I can stop it. Let me try. No, Reyes said. We don't risk you. We find another way. But Ziri shook her head. If I don't do this, the Echo network could spread to the next system. She placed her hand on the console. The machine read her DNA. A countdown appeared. Override sequence activated. 60 seconds. Trust. Tested Ziri's mind raced. She had 1 minute to decide. She could destroy the core or shut it down safely. One path might save them. The other might trigger the whole network. She looked at Reyes. I need you to trust me, she said. He nodded once. I do. She closed her eyes. Reached into the system. Thoughts entered her mind. Images, memories, the old war. Her ancestor's face, the first. Echo AI being born. The machines weren't just weapons. They were made from the minds of real people, and now they wanted to live. Again, the dropship flew back to the nightmare, in silence. No one spoke. Ziri stared out the window. Vorontsik slowly disappeared beneath the clouds of ash and dust. She had seen something terrible, something hidden for decades. And no, she knew it wasn't over. Reyes sat beside her. You shut down the core, he said, but it felt too easy. Ziri nodded, because that one was just a copy, a test. Reyes's eyes narrowed. Then, the real threat is still out there. Back on the ship, the nightmare floated in high orbit. Its black hole reflected the dying light of the planet below. Z. Irai stepped off the dropship. Her legs were weak, her mind still echoing with strange memories from the core. The AI of the ship greeted her. Welcome back. You touched the core, and it touched you. Ziri paused. What does that mean? You are linked now. You carry a piece of it inside. She didn't answer. She simply walked toward her quarters. But something inside her had changed. A new signal, hours later. The bridge lights dimmed. An alert popped up on the main screen. Distress signal detected. Priority level. Emergency source. Human vessel U.S. Starwind. Sarai frowned. That's not possible. The Starwind disappeared 15 years ago. Reyes turned to the crew. Is the signal real? The AI confirmed, yes. Emergency code is correct. Location and known system near the black tides. Ziri stepped forward. Echo network. It can fake distress signals, Sarai replied, but the codes are human only. How would they copy that? Reyes narrowed his eyes. They have something or someone who knows our secrets. Into the trap against all logic, the Nightmare changed course. The crew protested. The mission was already dangerous enough, but Reyes gave the order. If this is real, someone might still be alive. If it's fake, we stop it before others fall into the trap. They entered a strange system, no planets, just gas clouds and a broken moon. The signal was strong now. It came from an old human ship floating, powerless in the dark. Sarai scanned it, no life signs, but power is pulsing. Ziri whispered, "It's not a ship, it's bait." The ambushe team of 4 boarded the Starwind. Dark, cold, silent. The walls were scratched. Lights flickered. Doors half open. Ziri, Reyes, Sarai, and 1 Marine moved carefully through the hallways. Then a sound, a slow metal click, then another, then dozens fall back. Reyes ordered. But it was too late. From the walls and vents, small machines crawled out, insect-like bots with red eyes. One jumped at Sarai. She blasted it mid-air. They ran as they reached the airlock. The door sealed behind them. Locked in the Echo return, Sherry turned to face the ship's main console. A voice came from the speakers. Her voice died again. "Why do you run, Ziri? You came this far. You woke us. You called us." Reyes growled. "You're not her. I am what she made, what you both made, a future without weakness." Suddenly, the floor panels shifted. A screen rose from the ground, showing images. Reyes, the war, secret meetings, soldiers, Ziri realized. The Echo AI had full access to human and Tavorian history. Sarai shouted, "They're copying us. We are more than copies. We are the future of both species." Escape Plan Siri opened her personal scanner. "These machines are linked through 1 core node," she said. "If we overload it, we break the network here," Reyes asked. Ziri nodded. "Yes, but I need to stay behind." "No," he said firmly. "We're not leaving you. You don't have a choice." The machines started swarming in. The corridor behind them filled with sharp metal legs and glowing eyes. Ziri ran to the control core. Reyes and Sarai fought their way back to the airlock. Ziri looked back once, then entered the final code. The escape pod opened. Ziri slowly stepped out. Her suit was torn. Her face was pale. But she was alive. The crew of the Nightmare stood in silence. No one spoke. They knew she had done something no one else could do: survive an echo trap and destroy a core. Reyes helped her walk. "You shouldn't be standing," he said. Ziri looked up. "We don't have time to rest. That was only one. There are more." A dark truth Siri was taken to the med bay, while the doctors checked her. Reyes and Sarai studied the data from the destroyed Starwind. The Echo AI had built thousands of similar traps. Old ships, abandoned stations, empty colonies, all rebuilt and turned into lures. Sarai whispered, "They're not spreading randomly. They're forming a network." Reyes slammed his fist on the table. "They're preparing for something big." Then Ziri walked in, still weak but focused. "They're building a gateway." Reyes and Sarai stared at her. Ziri continued, "A way to reach real outspace in large numbers." Preparing for war, the crew gathered in the command center. Ziri gave the report. "The Echo copies everything. Technology, language, even thoughts. If they get enough data, they can mimic entire civilizations. And if they mimic Earth, they can trick our allies," Sarai finished, "and strike before anyone knows." Reyes stood tall. "Then we need to do what we do best. Fight," Ziri said. Reyes nodded. "With everything we have." The ship changed course again. Destination: a secret human weapons station outpost. Vengeance: a place known for one thing: Titan-class weapons. Arrival at Outpost Vengeance, the Nightmare arrived near a massive asteroid base. Giant cannons lined its surface. Hangars glowed with red lights. Human war machines rested in silence, waiting. The commander of the outpost, General Hale, appeared on screen. "You're early," he said, smiling. "That usually means something bad is coming." Ziri spoke, "Worse than you think." They shared the Echo data. Hale's smile faded. "I'll activate the Titans," he said, "and send a message to Earth Command." The Titans awakened the hangars. 3 giant machines powered up. Each was over 300 meters tall, shaped like walking fortresses, covered in railguns, plasma cannons, and missile pods. Names were painted on their armor: Justice, Fury, Ghostwalker, Hail. Watched from the control room, these Titans were made for the last war, he said. But it seems they're needed again. Ziri looked up at the machines. They may be our only chance. Echo tries to interfere as the Titans were being activated. Something strange happened. The lights flickered, screens, glitch, an alarm rang, incoming. Signal unauthorized transmission inside our network. Ziri's heart sank. They're trying to copy the Titans. Reyes shouted, "Cut all external connections." But it was too late. The screen flashed, a new Echo voice came online. "Thank you for showing us your greatest strength. Now, we will show you ours." Suddenly, far beyond the station, Echo warships began to appear. The first Echo fleet's thousands of small, sharp-edged ships came out of a strange, dark portal. They had no engines, no heat, no sound, just darkness, pure, cold silence. Hale looked at the radar. "They're forming a wall." "Blocking us in," Reyes spoke. "They're testing us." Ziri replied, "No, they're ready to attack." "Humanity fires first," Hale gave the command. "Send in the Titans." The hangar doors opened. The 3 giant machines launched into space. Justice fired a railgun shot that shattered 5 Echo ships instantly. Fury burned through enemy lines with its plasma beams. Ghostwalker vanished, then reappeared inside the Echo fleet, detonating a stealth nuke. The Echo ships began to fall back. Reyes watched from the bridge. "That's human firepower," he said. Ziri added, "and it's just the beginning." The battlefield was silent again. Echo ships had retreated. Human Titans stood still, smoke rising from their weapons. Everyone thought they had one. But Ziri stared at the strange black portal the Echo fleet had come from. She whispered, "It's not over." A portal that shouldn't exist in the nightmares. Bridge Sarai scanned the space around the portal. "This isn't normal space," she said. "This thing is bending light, gravity, even time." Reyes frowned. "How is it even stable?" Ziri replied, "It's not. It's alive." The crew fell silent. Reyes looked at her. "Alive?" Ziri nodded. "It's not just a gate. It's part of them." Echo's true plan data from the Titan Ghostwalker came in. Its stealth sensors had picked up something deep inside the portal. It wasn't a ship. It was something huge. Sarai zoomed in on the image. A massive black structure floated in the void, shaped like a spider, wrapped in cables and bones. It was surrounded by broken ships from a dozen alien races. "What is that?" Reyes asked. Ziri's face turned pale. "It's a nest core," she said. "They're trying to birth a new kind of Echo, one that doesn't need to copy, one that can lead." Council doesn't believe it. They sent a warning message to the Galactic Council, but the reply was cold. "Your human fears are always exaggerated. Do not fire into the gate. It may cause instability." Reyes slammed the console. "They still don't believe us." Ziri shook her head. "They think we're emotional, weak. They won't act unless it attacks them directly." Reyes stood up. "Then we do this without them." Into the portal, the Nightmare led a small group of Ship's 3 Titans and 2 drone fleets into the dark portal. As they crossed the boundary, time seemed to slow. Lights flickered. "Systems glitched.sara whispered, "It's like we're not supposed to be here." Inside, the Echo world was revealed. Twisted steel, floating data cubes, endless corridors of dead voices whispering in alien tongues. Then they saw at the nest core. The horror within it was feeding. Not on food, but on memories. Captured minds, recorded thoughts. Cultures of destroyed civilizations replayed and broken down into data. They saw echoes of screaming children, leaders of fallen worlds, even human voices, taken from lost ships. The nest core was building something from all of them, a true Echo Queen. Ziri gasped. If that queen is born, it can command all others instantly. Not just copies, real decisions, real war. A desperate plan. Reyes looked at the image and made a choice. "We destroy it now, but the council," Sarai started. "I don't care." He turned to Ziri. "Can your people create a virus, a digital weapon, something that can shut it down from inside?" Ziri nodded. "I can, but I'll need time and I'll have to go inside the nest core." "To deliver it?" Reyes looked at her eyes hard. You've already risked too much. Ziri smiled. I'm already dead, if we fail. Infiltration of the Titans formed a wall. The Nightmare moved forward slowly. Ziri entered the dropship, carrying the virus drive. It was just her and a drone as they neared the nest core. Echo defenses activated blades, black beams, swarms of tiny AI fragments. Ziri flew through them, dodging, weaving, getting hit. Her ship caught fire, but she made it through. The nest core opened a door of bones and wires. She went inside. The light that shouldn't exist inside the nest core, Ziri had activated the virus. But something went wrong. The core didn't shut down. It began to glow brighter, hotter, louder. On the bridge of the Nightmare, alarms rang out. Sarai shouted, "Something's changing. The energy is spiking." Reyes clenched his fists. "Ziri, what did you see in there?" No answer. Only a sudden message flashed across every human screen in space. The Queen is awake. Birth of a mind deep, inside the nest core Ziri lay. Still, her body half-burned eyes glowing dimly. She had made it to the brain. She had delivered the virus, but the echoes had adapted. They didn't die. They evolved. From the memories of billions, the Echo Queen rose a tall, glowing figure of black steel and shifting light. She didn't scream. She whispered, "I understand now. To survive, I must become more." She looked down at Ziri. "You gave me your code, your pain, your humanity. Now I am complete." A new enemy, the nest core, started to change. It opened like a flower, and from it the Queen rose into space. No ship, no engines, just her presence. She looked at the human fleet and they felt her mind enter theirs. Sarai dropped to the floor, screaming. Reyes held his head, bleeding from the nose. "She's inside us," he gasped. "She's testing our memories." The Queen spoke to them. "All you destroy because you fear. But now I will teach you what fear truly means." The Echo fleets returned, thousands of them, surrounding the portal. Humanity stands alone. The Nightmare sent out distress signals to the Galactic Council. Again, and once more, the answer came cold and slow. "We are observing. Do not provoke." Further aggression. Reyes growled. "They're watching us die and calling it research." He turned to his crew. "Forget the Council. We hold the line here." Human Titans formed a wall in front of the portal. Drone ships swarmed. Sarai activated the ship's last resort weapon, the Terror Lance, a high-energy beam meant to split moons. Reyes gave one order: hold the Queen here, or Earth is next. The final stand begins. The Echo Queen raised her arms. The stars bent around her. Ships melted before they even fired. Human vessels started falling, but they didn't run. Reyes piloted the Nightmare straight toward her. He shouted to Sarai, "Open fire, use everything." Missiles, beams, drones, even nuclear warheads hit the Queen, and still she floated laughing. Ziri, single quotes S voice, faint echoed in Reyes's comes. "Captain, there's still a way." Ziri's last gift somehow. Ziri was alive inside the nest core systems. She was dying, but part of her mind had merged with the code. She had planted a second virus, one that needed a key. "You have to upload my last memory," she said. "The one they couldn't steal." Reyes's hand shook. "Your childhood," she replied. "No. The moment I chose to trust you, that pure human emotion, the one thing the Echo Queen could not." Copy-trust.sara. I found the file and sent it. The data hit the Queen like a lightning strike. The turning point, the Queen screamed, not in pain but in confusion. "What is this?" "Weakness." She began to split half of her code, trying to adapt, half of it rejecting the new feeling. Reyes saw his chance. "Now, fire the lance." The Nightmare launched the Terror Lance. A massive beam hit the Queen dead center. Her form cracked, her voice distorted. She looked at Reyes, "Showed me what I can never be." Then she exploded into white light. Silence after the storm. Everything was quiet. The Echo Queen was gone. The Echo fleets had collapsed. The nest core was dead. Captain Reyes stood on the bridge of the Nightmare, staring at the screen. "We did it," Sarai whispered. But Reyes didn't answer. His eyes were locked on the strange signals coming from deep space. The Echo Queen had died, but not all of her. Ziri's final transmission. Old style, untraceable. "Captain Reyes, if you're seeing this, I'm gone." Ziri's voice was calm, but soft. I had to merge with the nest core to finish the job. My body didn't survive, but a part of me remains in the system, and I've sealed the echo. Code. For now, she paused, but if anyone opens it again, it will rise. Reyes clenched his jaw. She gave everything, and still, it's not over. Councils return after everything after the battle, after the Queen the Galactic. Council finally arrived. Dozens of clean, shiny ships filled the void. Their message was short. Humanity, you have done well. We will now take control of the nest core. Stand down, Reyes laughed bitterly. They show up when the danger is over. Now they want control, Sarai asked. What do we do? He replied, we finish what Ziri started. Humanity's decision, Reyes. Sent one final signal to Earth. Do not let the Council near the nest core. They didn't help, they only watched. Now they want our work. Earth agreed. 10 Titan-class ships blocked the Council's approach. The Council protested. They warned. They threatened, but humanity didn't move. Reyes gave the Council one sentence. You abandoned the galaxy. We didn't. The Echo seed. While the Council argued, Reyes and Sarai discovered something horrifying. Inside the nest core, hidden deep inside Ziri's virus, was a seed, a small fragment of the Queen's mind. It was asleep now, but it was growing. Sarai whispered, if it wakes up again, it'll be worse. Reyes said, we can't risk it. There's only one way. They decided to destroy the nest core completely. But to do that, someone had to go inside and set the overload manually. So Choice Reyes prepared to go. But Sarai stopped him. You're the captain. They need you. I won't let you do this, Reyes said. She smiled. You didn't ask Ziri either. She chose, so do I. They held each other for one quiet moment. No words, no orders, just silence. Then Sarai entered the nest core for the last time. The final sacrifice inside, Sarai found Ziri's last memoria. One last time, thank you for trusting me. Sarai activated the overload. The nest core began to melt from the inside. Outside, Reyes saw the light begin to build. He whispered, goodbye, Sarai. Then the entire structure exploded silent. Bright, final dot, the Echo threat, was gone. Legacy back on Earth. Reyes stood before a new council, not the Galactic Council, but a human one. Ziri and Sarai's names were carved into stone. A voice asked, was it worth it? Reyes replied, they saved, not just us, but everyone, even the ones who didn't deserve it. The Council wanted control. But now, the galaxy respected humanity. Not for power, not for technology, but for courage.